the very bottom, when she got the pattern, I don't know how to knit, so I don't know how to explain this. It didn't have Antarctica, but she figured out how to add it. I just got back from a trip. Ellen emailed me. I was in Bhutan, if anybody knows where that is. I went to 10 or 11 countries in 3 weeks and just got back Friday night. But I was going to talk not about that trip, but about another trip I took where to southern part of Africa, where we captured the rhinos that are at the Indianapolis Zoo. Does everybody know the rhino exhibit at the zoo? No? Does everybody know what a rhino is? Big and prehistoric, stupid. Well, this trip was to go pick out a dozen, probably was 10 of these guys, and they'd eventually be shipped back to the United States, and the Indianapolis Zoo would get 3 of them, which is exactly what happened. But before we did that, we went to a couple of other places, and the trip was one of those ones where after it's over, it's like, are we sure we lived through this? The first disaster that happened, we went to Botswana, and we went to Namibia. Namibia is on the west coast of southern Africa, and it's, well, the place where one bad thing happened was called the Skeleton Coast. There is no water in any of this area. You guys have seen pictures in National Geographic of one of the Himba tribe, is what it's called. These people have never seen hardly any white people. They live 30 miles from the ocean. They've never seen the ocean. They're just fairly back to earth, don't have much clothing, paint themselves red people. So we're in the middle of nowhere, and there's no water. There's a beetle that, the elephants look different. The elephants are desert-adapted elephants. They're very taller and thinner than regular elephants. They have bigger feet because they walk in the sand. There are all these adaptations. One of them is this beetle, because everybody needs water. Most everything needs water, right? These beetles need water. There is no water. So at night, when the dew comes, the dew forms on the back of the beetle, and the beetle's, what do you call that? The top of the beetle has a cup on the bottom of it like this. So the dew forms, and it runs off, and the beetle collects its own water. This is how weird and bad this place is. It's where you see all those pictures of red sand dunes. So we're in the middle of the night at this place called the Skeleton Coast, and we have little individual rooms. I'm sharing with a woman who works at the zoo. There are, I think, 6 or 8 of us. And I remember waking up and thinking, somebody's stealing the silverware. There was a tinkling of silverware. Somebody else woke up and thought something similar. She thought the glasses, some of the glasses were being broken, which actually turned out to be true. Somebody started yelling, get out, get out, get out, fire. And we look out, and there's a fireball 2.5 miles in the sky. There had been a huge explosion in the main building of the camp, and the camp blew up, basically. And we go outside, and there's great big, embers are coming down on top of our grass rooms. So we had to go, push this over here. This is like 4 in the morning, I think, to get away from that. And my roommate, Debbie, said, I'm going to go back and get something. What do you want me to get of yours? And I said, get my film. I want my pictures for the story. Which she did. And actually, nothing happened. It was fine. We all went back to bed when it got light, and it was clear that the fire was out. The camp had no water. It had no radio. The place was badly designed, but it had the kitchen and the office and the water all in the same building where it could blow up. It was redesigned after that, so that never happened again. So they flew us out that day. The guests that were coming in didn't come in because there was no water and no way to cook because the camp wasn't there anymore. So that was that. Then we get to Kruger National Park to go find our rhinos. And I'm sitting in my cabin with the same woman. I'm going to have to talk to Libby about whether she was bad luck. Sitting on my bed, we were both sitting on my bed, and I was taking notes and asking her questions because I was going to do a story about something or another for the paper. So I was sort of asking her questions, and we're sitting, just sitting on our beds at 2 in the afternoon. The guy was going to come over, one of our guys was going to come over and get me to go back over to the main building and send email because that was the only way to do it. So I'm sitting there, and he yells that he's there, and I said, okay. Turn over like this to get out of my bed. This is where tennis comes in handy. Quick hands, quick feet. I put my feet down, I pick my feet right back up because I look down and there's a friggin' snake right where I was going to put my feet. So, I'm not scared of snakes. I didn't used to be scared of snakes. I pick my feet back up and just start yelling, snake, 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 as loud as I can. Debbie jumps up on her bed. We're both standing on our beds. This guy comes running in. And it was a South African guy, and he looks at it and he says, wait just a minute. And I said, I can't use missing. Okay, I said, blank you, jump on Debbie's head, jump out the door, and stand on a chair outside. There's no way I'm standing in the room. It's damn snake. So he goes off and gets a stick and a paper bag, and he puts the eventually. Oh, then the snake goes and gets Debbie's luggage, and her hair freaked out. That's when she left the room. Turns out this thing, it was about this big, and it was going to get this big. It was a Mozambican spitting cobra, which is a, it's a big pickle. It's like, oh my God, what else can go wrong? Actually, the rest of the trip was great. See, it makes for a great story. I think any trip where you have good cocktail talk when you're done is worthwhile. And we got our rhinos just fine. I got to go up the helicopter when we picked out the first rhino, which was really cool. So